Hey everybody, my name is Phoenix, and we're going to be going over Falcon and the Winter Soldier streaming exclusively on Disney+. Stick tuned. Let's dive right in. So with the first episode, we kind of get to see where Sam and Bucky are post-Avengers Endgame. And quite frankly, I was a little let down. I was a little let down by the introduction, and here's why. I didn't expect this to be all-out action, and it was more of a personal story, which was kind of a seat back because WandaVision gave us mystery. It gave us the thought processes of where we ended out that show and where we're going to be going next year with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Kind of hope that does come on Premiere Access as well, but we'll see. So with this show, it gave us the background, the personal touch. What is it like coming back 5 years after you've been snapped off the face of the earth? Well, it touches on that. Sam goes back home. He's still living his life as Falcon. He's got contracts with the U.S. military. And it's just interesting that as a black superhero, he's not able to get a bank loan. He's not able to do the things that he's able to do to support his sister and her family. And it was something that I think Marvel, I don't want to say took a risk in telling, because it was a calculated risk, and I think it's something that is going to pay off. But they tackled racism in this episode, and it was something that I definitely wanted to see. Sam, just like myself, does suffer from imposter syndrome. How can you live up to what that shield represents? How can you live up to the mantle of Captain America? So he thought he was doing the right thing, giving the shield away. We got an appearance by Don Cheadle, which was spoiled by him months prior, but we won't hold that against you, Don. We won't do that at all. However, Don Cheadle showed up and he basically told him, "What are you doing? Cap gave you the shield. The shield is yours." Sam didn't believe that he could live up to that monarch, that title, that image of what Captain America was. And I guess we're going to find out later whether he takes the mantle or not. Bucky is facing his own demons. He's kind of seeing a therapist about some of his past issues as the Winter Soldier. And quite frankly, it's great to see that while he was in Wakanda and he got the mind thing going on that was working, I'm a little lost for words, but he got the probe out of his mind, so to speak, that Zemo had control over him, and he's still working through his issues. He has a book with various names on there, and he's trying to right his wrong, so to speak. And he comes upon this Asian guy, and you see in the episode that the Winter Soldier killed his son, basically because his son was a witness. And that weighed on him because you form this relationship with this guy, and then you come to find out that this guy's grieving that he doesn't know how his son died. He doesn't know what happened, and he wants to know. But the guy that has all the information, let alone the guy that killed your son, is sitting right in front of you. So I thought that was an interesting touch, and I thought that they did that very well. I thought it was very great how they did that, and kind of how it all translates and moves in certain ways. Fast forward to the bank scene. The scene that made a lot of us angry. The bank scene basically showed Sam and his sister there talking to this bank teller, this broker, so to speak, about possibly getting a loan for his sister's boat to fix it up, or their parents' boat, rather. And the guy says something along the lines of, "Yeah, while you've done everything and your dad was a member of this bank, we just can't approve you." And while he was going through those motions, Sam kind of had to say who he was. And quite frankly, that's when he remembered. And the sister called it out, what people of color were thinking at the time, like, "Oh, this is a black person. You're not going to give a loan to a black person." And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. So it's interesting to see Marvel take the road of tackling racism to a degree. I think Black Panther touched on it. It toted that line. This one is bringing that line straight to your face as the viewer. And I appreciate that. I really do. Then we go to the end of the episode where his sister says, "Sam, take a look at this." And the world is being introduced to a new Captain America, John Walker. And instead of doing the right thing of having the person who gave them the shield, because Cap gave this person the mantle, they completely went left field and gave it to John Walker. And what did that look like for people of color? You couldn't have a black person be Captain America, so you gave it to the white guy. I was shocked that they went down that road, but it does follow the comics. John Walker is U.S. agent, and in the second episode, which we can dive right into right now, why not? Second episode, you get to see a little bit more about John Walker, who he is, and it's the subtleties of this show that really stands out, because John Walker was brought out at the end of the first episode by saying, this is the new Captain America. He's brought out, and quite frankly, a lot of people were just like, this guy, who the hell is this guy? So then in the next episode, you get these two characters that are kind of like pumping John's ego, like, you are the job, like, you are Captain America. And us, who's been with Steve Rogers since 2000, and when did that movie come out? 11. Since 2011 to now, 10 years ago this year. Wow. We were literally like, no, you're not Cap. But they went down the story, and he even said, mind you, the subtleties, by the way, before I get into this next part, the guy that they brought out, the white guy, John Walker, was brought out by a Southern black band at a black high school. To me, that's a slap in the face if I'm Sam. Me, person of color, Cap gave me the shield because I embodied what it was, and it was time to pass that mantle on, only for it to be given to some guy who doesn't even meet the qualifications. So you get to see who John Walker is, and then you keep going throughout the episode, and John's kind of like flexing a little bit, like, I got these guys out of jail because Sam and Bucky got arrested, or Bucky got arrested rather, because they had a warrant out for his arrest. And he's like, oh, I got him out of jail. I did this, I did that. And the Steve Rogers that we have known, that's us right here, that we have known, Steve was never about the accolades. Let's go back to Captain America, the first Avenger. Steve, in the middle of that movie, with all the horrible songs and the musical vignette that they did, he was literally against that. He wanted to get out there and help the little guy. He wanted to help any way that he could possible. John, the complete opposite, loves the fame, loves the attention, loves the notoriety that he's getting. And you get to see a little bit of that in the third episode, but we'll get to that in just a second. But if you think about who the character of Captain America was and how he was portrayed in the films, Cap put people above himself. He put the notoriety to the side and said, no, we're here to do a job. We're here to get the job done. And we're going to do it together. Cap was all about the team aspect. And he saw a lot of himself in Sam. Sam was very much about the mission. Sam was down for the cause. Sam was very much at the end of Winter Soldier. And he's like, Sam, I'm not asking you to basically come help me find this guy. He's like, I know, but I'm going with you. That's a ride or die, right? That's what Bucky was to Cap, So you got Cap's two people that Cap trusted emphatically with his life. And Sam, in this episode, was actually saying, you gave up that shield. If Cap was wrong about you, then that means he was wrong about me. So that was a very powerful scene, because again, this person who trusted both Sam and Bucky is gone. He's not there to help them out along the way anymore, to get direction from. And it's all on Sam at this point, right? So Sam gave away the golden ticket and moved right along. With that being said, you fast forward, and I know I feel like I'm going around the mulberry bush, so to speak, but you fast forward to the third episode. John Walker, flat out gets so annoyed by the fact that there's this guy in some place in Europe. I forgot the name of the country. Let's just say Germany, for instance. They're in Germany, and they break down this door, and there's this whole place where the bad guys were at. And he said, do you know who I am? And he's like, yeah, I know who you are, and I don't care. So you're starting to see the little chips, like he's being chipped away, because nobody respects him as Captain America. Nobody respects him as Captain America. Not the people, not Sam and Bucky, and obviously not the U.S. government, for obvious reasons, I guess. But you start to see a little bit of this start to eat at him, and rightfully so, right? It's going to be interesting to see where Marvel takes the show. They showed The Broker in episode 3. The Broker, for all the comic book fans, you know who the broker is. I'm gonna not get into my comic book mindset and say, hey, this is who the broker is. This is how this gets. We're gonna save that for the finale. We're gonna do this on a weekly basis. This was something quick. It was something short because I wanted to get out and just actually do something, so to speak. So stay tuned to level1gaming.com right here, this channel, and going to go over every single piece of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and anything else on Disney Plus related. We're also going to be doing some reviews of Zack Snyder's The Justice League. I'll be doing that as well. I'll also be doing some retrospective reviews on various different Marvel movies and shows that who knows where that could pop up and actually take us down the road. We'll probably have some guests on here as well. We'll probably do a live show as well in the future. So definitely stay tuned. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button right there. Maybe here? Let's just say right here. Hit that like, subscribe button. You'll get notifications when this goes live on the Level 1 Gaming YouTube channel. So again, thank you all for tuning in for this very short, brief video. We'll be back on a weekly basis to do this, and here we are.